Hello, my friends. Are you getting my TLC Tuesday emails? Next Tuesday, I'm going to release something only to my subscribers. So go to thelightcoach.com/subscribe so you don't miss it. Enjoy today's episode. Hi, my friend. It is good to talk to you today. I have been so full of gratitude for so many things lately. Last week was Thanksgiving, and I hope that your Thanksgiving was full of giving thanks because you deserve to feel all of the joy in the life around you, even when things might be a little bit harder than you want them to be right now. 3 weeks ago, I found out that a close family friend of ours was diagnosed with cancer. And this man, this 6'7" teddy bear, is one of my favorite people on this planet. When we go to church, he stands at the door and welcomes everyone and just makes sure that every single person feels special. He always has a little thing of Tic Tacs that he gives to my boys, and they'll rush up and they'll give him a big hug and he'll give them that little smile and then hand them all Tic Tacs. And he just warms my heart. And he's not just friends with my children. He has been so kind to all of us. When he found out that I had given my husband a harmonica for Christmas because he had wanted to learn how to play, this man went to his storage and dug out a case of harmonicas and gave them to my husband. This case had 6 or 7 different keys of harmonicas so he could learn to play different songs that were in different keys. Who knew? I had no idea that was a thing with harmonicas. But he just has the biggest heart and is always looking to be kind to everyone around him. So you can imagine that it broke my family's heart when we found out that he was sick. And not just sick with anything, sick with cancer, which is something that is very tender to me because I lost my best friend and cousin 10 years ago because of cancer. So when we heard that this big teddy bear of a man was struggling, our family wanted to do something to help lift his spirits. So we made a card and we brought it over and expected to, give him a little bit of love and encouragement that he could do it because he's always giving that to everyone else. Well, we were in for a surprise because when we got there, he was not even sad. He had a smile on his face and he was full of jokes and just talking like he was totally ready to go and embrace chemo. And it honestly shocked me a little bit, especially when the thing he wanted to talk about the most was the fact that this 6'7" man chose to paint his toenails cancer-free pink because he was going in with style. After showing us his bright pink toenails, he turned to us and said, "I just want to give them something to remember." And in that moment, I admired him more than I ever had. And I thought to myself, that is a man who is choosing in. Now, if you remember from a few weeks ago, I did a podcast about choosing in when things get hard. And all that really means is that you stop trying to change things that you can't change and instead allow your amazing self to adapt in empowering ways. This does not mean giving up. Some people see choosing in to accept pieces of your life that won't change as giving up. I even had some people reach out to me after that episode and talk to me about how they've left feeling just a little bit unsettled. Like, I don't just want to choose in, I want to do something about my situation. Which is why I'm now doing a follow-up episode about choosing in versus giving up. If you remember in the episode about choosing in, I talked about us getting stuck at a campsite and how our physical bodies changed to adapt once we accepted what we could not change. But that doesn't mean that we just sat around and did nothing. We spent 5 hours spreading out the water and the mud so that it would dry faster, and that enabled an emergency vehicle to pick up a girl who was 5 years old and had had a fever of 104 degrees for multiple days. And if we had just said, "Oh, well, I'm choosing in, this is my reality and I can't change it," then that little girl wouldn't have gotten the help that she needed. Choosing in is not giving up. Giving up means, well, I can't change anything, so I'm just going to do nothing. Choosing in means this is what I can't change, and I'm accepting that instead of resisting it. But I can change some things, and I'm going to do whatever I can to make the best of this situation. It's an attitude and an action. Just like my friend who has cancer. He was not giving up. He was choosing to accept that this was his reality right now. And the best thing that he could do was embrace it with a positive attitude, ready to make a memorable difference in the lives of the people along the way. And he was able to choose in because he knows this secret. Every person on this planet has been given one gift. No matter your situation, you have this gift. And that gift is agency, the power to choose. My friend could not choose whether or not he had cancer, but he could choose how he wanted to respond and what he wanted to focus on. He could choose to give himself and all those around him something to remember. People like him give me hope that I can do the next hard thing. And it's not just him. I see it in you. I see it every time I talk to you and all of the amazing women that I get to support. Like the woman who chose to get remarried even though her children were not fully supportive. But she knew that she felt clear about it. And she chose in to accept that they might not like it, but that she could make it a good situation anyway. Or another client and close friend of mine who courageously faced the fact that her current job of 18 years was not where God wanted her to be. And instead of just hiding in fear, she embraced her beautiful natural talents and is now helping the world in amazing ways. I've also seen this courage to choose in time after time while I've helped women whose husbands are choosing addiction instead of their families. I spent 7 years in a nonprofit that helped family members of addicts know what to do when the addict was unwilling to find help. And it can be so heartbreaking to realize that the thing you've been fighting for just isn't going to happen. Some of the most courageous people that I know are those women who have looked at their lives and said, I'm willing to rewrite my story and find healing from within. That is not giving up. That is choosing in. Choosing to use agency to courageously change the things that you can. One of my favorite tools that I really loved when I was doing the addiction recovery work was the Serenity Prayer. It goes like this: God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Giving up is letting life happen to you. It's indulging as a victim and saying, I can't do it. This is too hard. Choosing in, on the other hand, means that you accept the things that you cannot change and you courageously change the things you can. Like my friend with cancer, like the women I've watched recreate their lives in beautiful ways, even though their ending wasn't the happily ever after the way they wanted it to be. And the many other clients that I've had that have courageously shown up, used their agency to choose in, and made a memorable difference in my life and in theirs. May God also grant you the wisdom to know the difference between choosing in and giving up. Choose in, my friend. You can do this. Life after therapy can be simple. Come learn how to think light, feel light, and live light at thelightcoach.com. I offer 5 free discovery sessions each week, and one of them is for you. Together, let's discover the joy that's possible in life after therapy.